Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. All indications out of Washington right now suggest a military strike against Syria could be imminent. President Trump tweeted as much this morning, warning Syria's ally Russia to get ready because missiles, quote, will be coming, nice and new and smart. Speaking of smart, 5 years ago, in response to the last administration's plans to bomb Syria, Trump tweeted this, quote, be prepared. There is a small chance that our horrendous leadership could unknowingly lead us into World War III. Well, that was a wise response, the kind that could get you elected president of the United States. And yet, here we are, once again on the brink of something whose outlines and consequences are unknowable and terrifying. On Monday night, we spent more than 15 minutes talking about that. We asked what seemed like the most basic questions about a war in Syria, questions the geniuses on the other channels ought to be asking but are not. We're told we must attack Syria in order to punish President Assad for launching a chemical attack against his own people last weekend. It's our moral duty, endless CNN panels have reminded us, to uphold international standards of behavior and punish war criminals like Assad. Okay. But are we sure Assad was responsible for the gas attacks? Many people claim he was. They started claiming that within hours of the attacks themselves, before many of the most basic facts were even known, and they're still claiming it. But where's the proof? They have provided no proof. They've just made loud noises and denounced the question askers. That's not enough. As American citizens, we have a right to know why we're doing this. The second question we asked on Monday was, how would attacking Syria help the United States? How would it help make us richer, or safer, or happier? You'd think our policymakers would keep that question foremost in mind always. They don't. They consider the effect on America an irrelevant consideration, maybe even offensive to consider. They are highly annoyed when you ask about it, like only an agent of a foreign government would want to know how a U.S.-led war might help the U.S. Well, it's easy to understand why other countries might want us to attack Syria. China, for example. They'd be thrilled by it. If you sought to displace America as the leader of the world, you'd want it to weaken its military and go broke. And nothing achieves that faster than a pointless war, as we've proved in the recent past. Again, those seem like basic questions. Nobody bothered to answer them or even engage. We had Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi on the show Monday to talk about Syria. He didn't even try to explain how a war there might help the U.S. Instead, he suggested we were agents of Putin. The rhetoric of the left has corrupted establishment Republicans in Washington, and that's not surprising. The two groups have a lot in common, it turns out. Other pundits and chaise lounge commanders accused us of disloyalty, too, all without answering our questions. Shut up, they explained. Over at CBS, they responded with ridicule. Stephen Colbert hosts The Late Show on CBS. You might not agree with his politics, but Colbert is not stupid. He's smart enough not to engage in a conversation that might reveal him as a mindless warmonger posing as a liberal. So he talked about pandas instead.
It is unprecedented that the president's personal lawyer gets rolled up by Johnny Law. Everybody is covering this, and that includes Fox News, whose Tucker Carlson last night wasted no time in going straight at addressing our national nightmare.
You know the official story about pandas. They're cute but adorably helpless, which is why they're almost extinct. But like a lot of what we hear, that's a lie. Pandas, it turns out, could easily kill you if they felt like it. Thank God they don't.
Yes. Thank God they don't. And thank God that Tucker is covering what historians will call the Panda-monium. Now, obviously, he didn't have time to cover the Michael Cohen raid because he had to talk about this very in-depth report.
Colbert's bit went on for at least 4 minutes. We've condensed it out of kindness, while our original Panda segment lasted for 30 seconds at the end of Monday's show. And yet it's what CBS jumped on, and CNN and a number of other outlets that have spent the last week pushing this administration to war. They have no interest in explaining how bombing Syria might help America. They don't care. And so instead they make fun of pandas. There may be a real case for war in Syria. We'd love to hear it. We've been begging to hear it. We'd love to hear it from Stephen Colbert himself, by the way. He's welcome here anytime, though, of course, he'll never come.